Thank you, ma, for attending, ma.
You're welcome, Victoria. You're welcome.
Okay. So it's 10 a.m. Shall we start? May I have your kind permission?
Is our speakers, they're all in, or we can start and then they join us? Or...
I think it's important to start on time, and Madam Funke can please find out if
Nexim Bank
our
has been
special
here. Nexim Bank has been here.
Stella Okotete is available because she is the first speaker.
Nexim Bank is there, yes.
Nexim Bank has been here very early. We're both here very early.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes, please. Okay. All right.
Good morning.
So, good morning, distinguished.
Good morning. No, this isn't the distinguished honorable. She isn't here yet. My name is Kelechi. So yes, I'm expecting her. I know she has other pressing issues, but she's yet to, give me feedback on whether or not she will be able to make it. But if she's unable to make it, I will be your person for today, if that is okay. But let me get word from her.
All right. That's noted. Thank you. And you said your name is Kelechi, did you say?
Yes, Kelechi.
Kelechi. Mrs. Victoria Obadina, do I have your permission to start the proceedings for today? Mrs. Victoria Obadina.
Let's start. Yes, ma, you have our permission. You can start.
Hello, Madam Chairperson, Women's Group.
Yes, ma. I'm answering. Can you not?
No, I couldn't hear you. And now her microphone is muted.
Can you unmute me? I've unmuted myself, so I don't know why you can't hear me.
You are unmuted now.
So can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. May I proceed?
Yes, please.
All right.
Please do.
Okay. The President, Lagos Chambers of Commerce and Industry, the Chairperson, Women's Group, who is the hostess for today, distinguished guest speakers, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry Women Group, it is my great pleasure and honor to welcome you to this webinar on exploring Nigeria's export market services and opportunities this beautiful Thursday, 26th November. And we would just like to put a bit of context to the importance of this webinar by saying that we are all aware that it has been announced that Nigeria has gone into a recession. This is very unfortunate. One of the ways to climb out of the recession, of course, is to improve our contribution to GDP. So going into export services will definitely be a welcome development. We are the largest economy in Africa, 50th largest export economy in the world, and we are looking at how to improve our non-oil exports. So once again, I would like to invite everyone to this to the seminar, and I would like to hand over, or just before I hand over, may I give a few housekeeping rules. If you are not speaking, please mute yourself. If you wish to contribute, you can raise a hand. There's a raise hand icon. And if you have any questions, there's the Q&A chat box, because we don't want to miss your question if it comes in the chat room. So do post your questions under the Q&A segment. Once again, we're very honored to have our distinguished speakers and other ladies and gentlemen on this call. I would now like to hand over properly to Madam President, Mrs. Tokima Bukunje, to give her opening remarks and welcome address. Madam President, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, moderator, Mrs. Williams. Good morning, and good morning to everyone here present. Our guest speakers, Mr. Olusegun Awolowo, CEO, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Honorable Stella Okotete, Executive Director, Business Development of Nexim Bank, Mrs. Eleojo Rosemary Peters, CEO, Eleojo Foods Nigeria Limited, Mrs. Victoria Onofo Obadino, Chairperson of the LCCI Women Group, members of the Women Group. I am pleased to join the Chairperson of the Women Group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry in welcoming our esteemed guests and attendees to this webinar. The theme, exploring Nigeria export market services and opportunities. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as you may be aware, dominated by crude petroleum, significantly to total exporter in the non-oil export sector, the Nigerian oil proceeds for fiscal revenue, administration, as well as all to leverage the opportunities in the non-oil exports. Those efforts have not yielded desired output proceeds, still come from, has the potential to generate and strengthen the value of major global currencies if we do the right things. It is disheartening that our non-oil exports are dominated by primary commodities with little or no value addition. Exports of primary products without value addition investment. A major concern that needs to be addressed expeditiously is the issue of quality and standards of Nigerian non-oil exports. Our non-oil commodities are sometimes rejected abroad on account of quality issues. The inability of our products to meet global requirements is taking a toll on the performance and competitiveness of Nigeria's non-oil exports. For instance, a considerable portion of Nigeria's products were rejected at the European Union's border in 2019. Currently, some of our agricultural products are on the EU prohibition list. There is no way we can talk about taking advantage of export opportunities if our export products do not meet the required standards. This from the several bilateral fiscal and monetary authorities have a critical role to play in providing an enabling environment for non-oil export players. They require more support around market information, packaging, logistics, and funding. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again, I would like to welcome participants to this virtual discourse. And on behalf of the entire membership of the Women's Group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I thank you all for honoring our invitation, and I welcome you all to this webinar. Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, Madam President, and you will forgive me. I just found out that I did breach protocol a bit. I didn't say a little about your profile. Mrs. Tokima Bogunje is the president of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry. She is a business consultant interested in the growth and management of SMEs on the African continent. As a business consultant, she has particular interest in value chain, development, project financing, strategic organization, and provision of legal and business advisory services to SMEs. Thank you very much, Madam President, for reminding us about a major concern when it comes to quality and standards of Nigerian exports. You have said that this must be tackled to avoid rejection. You raised the point that some of our agricultural products are currently on the prohibition list of the EU. That is saddening. And you have called on the fiscal and monetary authorities to play a greater role in providing an enabling environment. Thank you very much, Mrs. Toki Mabukuje, for your kind words. We would now like to proceed with regards to the agenda to call on the representative of Nexim. Is she around, please? Madam Kelechi.
Yes, I'm here.
Please, could you advise us if Honorable Stella Okotete is available?
Yes, she has asked me to represent her. She has asked me to do the presentation on her behalf. Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Moderate.
All right. So,
okay.
Can you allow me to all right. So, Honorable Stella Okotete possesses significant experience in public policy design and implementation, international development and general administration, public-private partnership management, business development, and export financing. A graduate of the Benson and Dahosa University, Benin City, where she earned a BA in International Studies and Diplomacy. She also holds a diploma in law from the River State College of Arts and Sciences and has an ongoing master's program in public administration, as well as a master's degree in peace and conflict resolution. Honorable Stella has a rich mix of professional experience in both public and private sectors. Between 2011 and 2015, she was a focal person for the MDGs, that's the Millennium Development Goals in Delta State, where she provided leadership in establishing and executing programs with agency groups to ensure that the goals as well as targets of the UN MDs Millennium Declaration were met. She continues to develop sustainable growth initiatives for the nation's non-oil export sector and remains steadfast in championing and advocating for the rights of the girl child. She's a mother, humanitarian, and ardent supporter of good governance. So, ladies and gentlemen, can you please join me in welcoming Honorable Stella Okotete, who is well represented here by Madam Kelechi. You're welcome. Please go on with.
Thank you, moderator. Good morning again, everyone. My name is Kelechi Waboso. I work with Nexim Bank, the Trade Finance Department precisely. I'll be representing Honorable Stella Okotete this morning. I'll be making a presentation on exploring the Nigerian export markets and opportunities, the role of Nexim Bank in exploring the Nigerian export market and opportunities. I'd like to start by giving us a brief background information on Nexim. The Nigerian Export-Import Bank is an export credit agency with the mandate to provide finance, risk-bearing and advisory services to indigenous exporters. Now, our goal is to support non-oil exports by diversifying the economy. The bank's mandate falls within 3 categories: provision of finance services, risk-bearing activities, business development, and advisory services. Our agenda or our focus cuts across 4 sectors: the manufacturing, agriculture, solid minerals, and services. And if you can see my screen, here are a few of the commodities under each sector that we have managed to finance its exports thus far. Under the manufacturing, we have the likes of pellets, hair extensions, pharmaceuticals, aerosols. Under the agro-allied or agriculture, as you may want to call it, we have cashew nuts, cashew kernels, cocoa beans, cocoa butter, sesame, ginger, hibiscus, and a list of others. Solid minerals as well, and the services. Under services, logistics, branding, packaging, entertainment, and the list is endless. Now, our products come basically in 3 categories. We have interbank facilities, direct lending facilities, and others. I'll try to give an instance or more information on what each of them requires or is about. For the stocking facilities, is majorly providing funding to exporters for the purpose of stocking raw materials. So I'll give an instance. Take, for instance, someone who is into export of leather. Now, the stocking facility allows for funding to that exporter to be able to aggregate raw materials such as hides and skin, especially during take for instance, the Salah period, in order to take advantage of the pricing of lower prices. Lower input facilities basically, sourcing of local raw materials to enable export of commodities. The rediscounting and refinancing facility allows us to refinance an existing loan with a commercial bank at concessionary interest rates. Under the direct lending, and this is where I'll be focusing on in this presentation, we have the YF. The YF is the Women and Youth Export Facility. I'll be throwing more light on it as we go on. Now, it's no news that the COVID-19 pandemic has adversely affected women-owned businesses. I was having a conversation the other day with some colleagues, and then we're discussing how it has aggravated gender inequalities and posed a serious threat to the fragile gains made for women's economic empowerment. In addition to that, there's also the devaluation and weakening of the Naira. Then, considering that lots of women-owned businesses are usually very unstructured and are usually concentrated in some of the worst hit sectors, such as event planning, tailoring, catering, baking, etc. It has heavily impacted adversely on women-owned businesses. On this premise, there is a need to diversify the economy, generate foreign exchange, and create alternative sources of income. That is why we are encouraging women to take advantage of export opportunities by venturing into exports. I want to believe that export is something that is here to stay forever, because there must be trade. Trade or trading is the lifeblood of every economy. Now, as we recover from this crisis, Nexim is positioned to empower women-owned businesses through taking advantage of export market opportunities by creating an enabling environment through access to finance at concessionary interest rates, capacity building for existing and prospective exporters such as this that is being held, provision of market links and networks, provision of risk-bearing services such as credit insurance and guarantee, engagement with relevant stakeholders, amongst others. Now, like I earlier said, I'll be focusing on the women.
Anne.
Hello?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so like I said earlier, I'll be focusing on the YF. Now, the Women and Youth Facility is tailored to stimulate and increase deliberate funding to women and youth youth between the ages of 18 to 35 years, with the aim of broadening Nigeria's export basket, facilitating regional industrialization for value-added exports. The objectives in specific are to improve access of women to concessionary financing, to revamp and resuscitate small and medium enterprises that are export-oriented, to sustain and create more jobs for women and youth along the export value chain, to support women and youth to upscale and expand their export capacities, basically to diversify and increase the level of contribution of non-oil export revenue, and to broaden the scope of export financing instruments, as well as to complement other non-oil export financing schemes. Now, what is our eligibility criteria? It's quite simple: structure, be a duly registered SME, cluster, or association, engaged in the production and marketing of goods that are not prohibited for exports. Clusters, associations that are registered with the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. SMEs, clusters, associations that belong to relevant commodity export associations. And basically, like I said, structure is structured export-oriented enterprise, cluster, or association. Our documentation requirements are quite simple and basic. Now, considering that our aim is to finance non-oil exports, I'd like to believe that the most important requirement is an export order. You have to, as an exporter, there has to be an export order that will be executed with the finance or risk advisory services that will be provided by Nexim Bank. In addition to the list of others, as you can see on the screen, because we like to work with other related agencies or stakeholders, it's important that you provide your registration, the certificate of registration with the NEPC. It's also important that you provide the bank cash flow projections that prove viability of the proposed transaction to be financed. A tax clearance certificate is equally important. So Nexim is providing an enabling environment for women-owned businesses. So number one, be structured. And in addition to being structured, or on the premise of being structured, explore the export market and fully maximize the returns of exports. These are a few of the collaterals that we accept: all asset debenture, legal and equitable mortgage, bank guarantees, credit bonds, lien on stock via tripartite warehousing arrangements, corporate and personal guarantees, movable assets, etc. And then these are a few of the institutions that we work with, which I believe are fully represented here as well: NEPC, FIRS, Quarantine Service, Standard Organization of Nigeria, other financial institutions. I think I'd like to conclude by giving us lessons, important lessons on access to finance. As a credit analyst, there are 5 C's of credit that we take into cognizance, and they include character, capacity, capital, collateral, and conditions. Now, as a prospective borrower, it's important that you have a clean credit history and you have built a beautiful reputation that makes you credit worthy. For capacity as well, you have to be able to provide us with track record and the ability to generate cash flows on the prospective or on the prospective transaction. Then your funding requirement is equally important. Clarity of purpose is very important. That is where capital comes in. The collateral to be proposed or to be pledged on the facility that is being requested, conditions for the facility ranging from the tenor, the mode of repayments, covenants, and undertakings. It is very important to conduct comprehensive industry research and analysis of any business transaction to be financed in order to prove viability and profitability. As a financial institution, I think that those 2 words, profitability and viability, are our watchwords, especially in the light of the COVID pandemic and with the recession. It's important that we go into business transactions that we know have been ascertained to be viable. Hence the need for cash flow projections like I earlier mentioned. Now, the current objective of diversifying the Nigerian economy cannot be fully achieved without Nexim supporting MSMEs, especially the ones promoted by women across the export value chain. Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava, yam, cocoyam, shea nuts, shea butter, kola nuts. We are the second largest producer of sorghum and films, the third largest producer of groundnuts, gum arabic, sesame seeds, and ginger. This should tell you that we are richly blessed with resources that we should take advantage of and fully maximize exports. On this premise, Nexim is here to support women-owned businesses along the export value chain to generate foreign exchange, create employment, contribute to national income, create wealth, create a sustainable economy. We therefore welcome partnership opportunities with female entrepreneurs, which I know that we will be getting a lot from this on this platform, and project promoters in identifying and funding viable projects across our focus areas or focus sectors, cutting across the manufacturing, agro-processing, solid minerals, and services, with the aim of boosting non-oil exports. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam Kelechi. You have given us a whole lot in terms of the services offered by Nexim Bank. You have told us about the interbank services, the direct lending, the others. I'm sure the women really warmed up to the issue of direct lending. Yes, they want to hear more about that direct lending.
Yes, I will take that, the question and answer session.
Beautiful. You also mentioned that trade is the lifeblood of every economy, and underscored the fact that COVID-19 has caused women to be at a disadvantage. You know, there's this more pain, more struggle for women to overcome the challenges imposed by this COVID-19. And Madam Kelechi, I dare say, you know, this outline that you've given us, it does sound very interesting, but the issue has always been that of access. Access. You've been able to access this funding, and the requirements are pretty steep. So I'm going to hand over, you know, on that thought to Mrs. Obadino. I don't know whether she wants to express it now or wants to express it a bit later, because if the Finance Act 2020, for instance, has, you know, allowed SMEs with a turnover less than 25 million, maybe not to pay tax and so on, we need to have the same kind of embrace coming from some of these federal government institutions, a bit of letting down on these steep conditionalities, because they really look like IMF and World Bank conditionalities by the time you finish reading through them, Madam Kelechi. So I think I'll hand over my thoughts to Mrs. Obadino. Mrs. Obadino, do you want to say something now or in the Q&A? Mrs. Obadino, Chairperson. Chairperson, I think Kelechi would allow Madam Kelechi to please say a word on that. The requirements are steep, and we don't have the how. You know, the thoughts process behind all this is always very good. How do we register, for instance, with Nexim? Is it online? Do we have a website, you know? And how do we overcome these like hurdles, you know, that seem to be quite steep to be able to do business with Nexim?
All right, so the requirements aren't steep. Now, we are very flexible, and we treat each case on its merits. So everyone is treated on a case-by-case basis. Now, I understand where you talk about tax exemptions. Once you fall under that category, that is considered. Most of the requirements, like I said, the most important thing is an export order to be financed. I do not expect an SME that has been existing for barely a year to give me 3 years audited account statements. I understand that. So the most important requirements, like I said, are an export order and your projections, your cash flow projections to prove viability of the proposed transactions. Now, with regards to access, yes, we have a website. No, you don't need to register with us. All you need to do is bring your application to us. We have regional offices in Lagos, Akure, Enugu, Makurdi, Yola, Calabar, and the head office here in Abuja. So we are quite accessible. And then on our website, you will see our email addresses of each regional office, and you could send that email and we'll respond to you. So, like I mentioned earlier, our objective is to make funding seamless. We are aware that financing, availability of working capital poses a huge threat to the thriving of every business here and everywhere, basically. So we are positively disposed or favorably disposed to assisting to the best of our capacity. I hope I've answered your question.
I believe so. And Mrs. Obadina, I hope you listened in.
Yes, please.
So we have it on record.
Yes, I am. Sorry about the.
Said that.
Yes, you have it on record. Yes, hold me to it.
Can I just ask one question?
Yes.
Okay.
Regarding collateral.
Yes.
How simple can it? Because most women don't have collateral, and women really want to help the SMEs. They should really put the collateral at the side, and then be able to help them from the ground. You understand? So because most of these women don't have collateral, but they are ready to do it. They're ready to work and pay back. Most women do pay back whatever they own. They're better than men in paying back.
Yes,
I agree.
So how can SM help our members in accessing this finance without collateral?
Now, that's why the collateral options are flexible. From the toughest being a corporate guarantee or a commercial bank guarantee to the simplest being movable assets. Women have wrapper, women have gold, women have motorcycles. In addition to that, there's also something called the lien on stock. Now, the lien on stock allows for Nexim to have a charge on the stock that is, being processed for export. That serves as collateral in some cases. So every transaction is treated on its merits. No two transactions are the same. Everything is treated on a case-by-case basis. So when your documents are presented to us and we can see what you can afford to provide as collateral, then we take it up from there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Obadina, I think you are beginning to calming down.
Yes, she's calming down.
So I would like to crave the indulgence of our distinguished audience. I think we breach protocol a bit by asking those questions, but you're talking to women and women are very passionate about these things. And sometimes we just want to get it out of the way. How do we get to that honeypot? This elusive funding that we all speak about. And now we would have the next speaker. Thank you once again, Madam Kelechi. Please thank Honorable Stella Okotete.
Yes, I will.
And I do hope you are still on the line because
yes, I'll be here till the end. I know there will be questions. All right, thank you so much.
Questions. All right.
Okay.
So while you take a back seat and take a cup of water, it is my pleasure to call on Rosemary Eleojo Obaje Peters. She is one of us. She is someone who wears the shoes and she knows where the shoe pinches. So she may be able to even give us some of her experience in her own presentation when it comes to accessing finance and export of goods. So Rosemary Eleojo Obaje Peters, Princess Eleojo Rosemary Obaje Peters, is the Managing Director, CEO, and founder of Eleojo Foods Nigeria Limited, EFNL, which is engaged in the farming of rice, yam, cassava, as well as bee, honey, as well and among other things in the agricultural value chain. Eleojo Foods is also into poultry and fisheries farming, as well as into feeds production for their sustenance. The company expects to address the important issue of post-harvest losses, helps to gain access to export markets, as well as creating market access for farmers through the recently established Tubakeri Grains Center, an ultra-modern factory with equipment from Avon Blanc in United Kingdom. Rosemary Eleojo is a constant participant at international business summits, trade fairs, the recently concluded Cial Paris, and the world's largest food trade exhibition. She's an accountant by training, so she knows her numbers. And she has also undergone training with World Bank on international best practices and standards. Please join me in welcoming Princess Eleojo Rosemary Obaje Peters. You're welcome, my dear sister. She's a leading member of the women's group. Our able secretary, Madam Funke, can you please unmute Rosemary and possibly allow her to share her screen? Thank you. Let me get off the camera right now so that we can have Rosemary come in. Can I just confirm, do we have Rosemary Eleojo on this call?
Hello, good morning.
Oh, good morning. Is that Rosemary Eleojo?
Hello.
Hello, is that Princess
Yes,
Eleojo Rosemary?
Good morning.
All right. Good morning, madam. You're very welcome. So you have the floor.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear us?
Hello, good morning.
We can hear you.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, madam. Hello.
We can hear you.
Okay, good morning. It's nice to be in your midst today via the virtual apps. It's an opportunity that I appreciate a lot, and thanks for your introduction, although so many. I would like to talk on exploring Nigeria export market services and opportunities. So let's start by understanding what export means in its simple terms. Export simply means, sale of goods and services, in foreign land, produced or sourced from home countries. That is just a simple definition of exports. It then means the goods and services that we produce in Nigeria and taken outside of Nigeria, to be sold. And in return, we are paid in hard currency. It's as simple as that. The others are just the processes that is involved in taking these goods and services out of the country. Yes, it's important to know that from countries to countries, every country have its own procedures, controls, so that we don't end up taking all sorts of goods out of the country. And so we have, in Nigeria, we have list of what is expected of us to take outside of the country. I'll just give a few of such. We have the rubber, we have sesame seed, we have palm kernel oil, we have cocoa butter, we also have cocoa, we have textiles, garments, gallstones, honey, ginger, shrimps, garlic, yam tubers, charcoal, cotton, cassava flour, cashew nuts, snail, chili pepper, and what have you. A lot of opportunities are available to LCCI women group in all these products. For instance, I see a lot of posts from women on the chat group, on the chat platform. Hello? Hello? I see a lot of posts where
Madam Rosemary, we can hear you. Please just go ahead.
Things like a ginger in powder, garlic, and all sorts. And I said to myself, wow, how I wish this can be taken out of the country. You know, it's a good foreign exchange earners for us all. For us all. Garlic, ginger, and most of these items listed above are very much available in the northern and the middle belt parts of Nigeria in export quantity and quality. So I think we can put ourselves together, you know, and work with those in the villages, you know, to get this done. To get this done. A lot of opportunities also available using technology. A lot of, we can be in our comfort zone in Lagos, Abuja, wherever we are, and link up with farmers and with individuals who have distinguished themselves in the villages, you know, doing one great thing or the other. We have a lot of people in villages today doing great things. We also have lots of people relocated back from abroad to villages, partnering with farmers, you know, and in capacity building finance, and they take these products from them and send out of the country. At the end of the day, everybody is fine. Everybody is happy. Let's look at export finance, where we all seems to have problems. Where we all seems to have problems. First and foremost, let's look at within ourselves. Finance is a problem in entrepreneurship. We all know that. But there's a way out of it. Before we go to banks, you know, and every other government institutions, let's look at the LCCI Women Group, for instance. We can come together, you know, as a group, identify the products and services we want to participate in, we want to take out of the country, you know, pull resources together in partnership form, pull resources together. We can even talk to some of our bigger big friends. You know, I know we have visited the likes of Techno Oil before, Mrs. Winifred in Calabar. Those are big friends in the chamber. We can approach them, you know, for partnership. It is something I would like the chairperson of this group to look at with her team, with a view of putting it cooperative so that women can have access to funds. This is the easiest way of having access to funding, you know, for this business. Yes, we have someone from Nexim, of course, who has given us presentations professionally. Nexim Bank is doing a lot in export. So there are a lot of bottlenecks there. Of course, with referrals from Nigeria Export Promotion Council, some of us have been able to access funding from them. You know, of course, that is not without having to bring out your late dead parents and all that. But on the whole, they are doing a good job. But it will be appreciated if some of these stringent conditions accessing loans can be looked at with the view of reviewing it, you know, for the sake of women participation in business and in exports. We have the Nigeria Export Promotion Council. Yes, another great body of government supporting exports. You know, the Nigeria Exports Promotion Council doing a lot in terms of capacity building, both within and outside of Nigeria. Some of us are beneficiaries of this. NEPC have a robust website where, as an entrepreneur, you can link up to, you know, and then you will have a lot of inquiries on your products, goods and services, and at the end of the day, you seal up businesses, you know, and that has brought in a lot of businesses for entrepreneurs. It's something, again, I want the chairperson of this group to look at, you know, so that as many people as are interested in participating in these exports can have the opportunity. Of course, organizations like UNIDO, USAID, you know, are also doing a lot, you know, in exports, in capacity building. UNIDO do not deal with individuals, but with organizations. You know, I have been fortunate to be part of what they are on their training of beans, you know, right from the farm, of beans, right from the farm to get it to international standard. And I know again that the West African Trade Hub is here with us in Nigeria now, and a lot of things are going on there. So we have to broaden our knowledge on all the happenings in most of these organizations so that we can take the full benefits. For our businesses. The World Bank too is doing a lot right from the farm. Yes, right from the farm, because we all know that, especially those of us in the food industry, we know that food safety begins from the farm. So the World Bank is available, you know, to take us through the processes, you know, of getting it right, you know, to international standard, using best practice right from the farm, you know, to the table, right from the farm to the table. And so let's take a look at commercial banks. Yes, commercial banks are there, you know, to also help businesses. You know, of course, they have their own issues too, but my advice is to follow them through on collateral. Have their time, you know, listen to them, and ensure that all is done for you to be able to get financing from them. I happen to be in a team that had audience with the CBN governor about 2 weeks ago on collateral issues. Yes, because a lot of women are not able to put collaterals in place, just like Mrs. Obatino has have highlighted. Of course, the central bank is looking at that with a view of coming up with a policy document on collateral that will be favorable for women especially. I listened to the lady from Nexim. She talked about gold, materials, clothes, and all that. Is that true? Anyway, we have your phone numbers. We will contact you. We'll visit you, and let's see how we can also leverage on that. On the whole, a lot of businesses abound outside there, especially today. Post-COVID, a lot of businesses are there today. So let's give attention to details. What distinguishes you from another person doing the same thing is attention that you pay to details. You know, the world has become global now, global market. You know, for you to stand out in all that you do, you must be different in what you do. And one of the ways to be different is giving attention to details. We all have what it takes, you know, to succeed. First is determination. Second is determination. And third is determination. Thank you.
Thank you very much, very, very, very much, Princess Rosemary Eleojo. I really feel like giving you a big hug, you know, for telling us all about export right from the rudiments, defining what exports are, talking about quality and quantity. asking us or giving us suggestions on how we can pull resources together. And I know Mrs. Obadino must be taking notes there. Mrs. Obadino, are you calming down more and more? You know, now that they are giving us the blueprints, I believe we have had a lot of great suggestions and contributions from our speakers so far. Rosemary has told us that yes, she has been able to access funding from Nexim. So I know Madam Kelechi must be smiling and happy, even though Rosemary told us she had to bring out an arm and a leg. She eventually overcame that. Madam Princess Eleojo also mentioned the role of some of the multilateral agencies, like USAID and UNIDO. She has said the World Bank is also interested in helping us to get the farm practices right from the farm to the table. There's an entire value chain there, and we need to realize that quality matters at every step of the value chain. My question to Mr. Leojo, maybe we'll take that during the Q&A, is about the National Quality Certification System, which the Chambers is a big part of, and the Chambers is also promoting this ISO certification, you know, 9001, 2015, the quality certification, there are various food certifications and so on and so forth. Will that help? Is that the key to, is that the missing link in the acceptance of Nigerian agricultural products globally? Is that the missing link, this certification system? I would like Princess Rosemary Eleojo to think about that. So we'll bring it up in the Q&A. And I know Mrs. Obadino is always cooking up her own questions to get the women on board. Now that she's had partnerships and collaboration, I'm sure she's going to deal with that. And then in terms of collateral, this movable registry that they've been talking about, can Rapa go there? Can Abada go there? Is it only your gold tooth that you have to remove and put there? We really need clarification. So it is my pleasure, in order to make sure that we are not losing time, we have a presentation by Mr. Olusegun Awolowo, the MD of Nigerian Export Promotion Council. But before I call him in, we have to say real nice things about all what NEPC is doing, and let our distinguished guest be availed with his profile, his awesome profile, Mr. Olusegun Awolowo. May I know if you are ready and on the call, sir? Hello? Please unmute Mr. Olusegun Awolowo. Hello? Our able secretary, Madam Funke, can you please confirm if Mr. Olusegun Awolowo is on the call with us this morning? Hello? Okay, I think while that is being done, we can go into his profile, and then we can find out if he's able to take his lecture immediately. So he is the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, NEPC, that is Nigeria's apex organization for the development and promotion of non-oil exports to diversify Nigeria's economy. He leads a team of nearly 400 staff spread across 15 offices nationwide with headquarters in Abuja. Nigeria is witnessing significant growth in non-oil contribution to the GDP under his watch. His goal is to shift the focus from export of raw produce to value-added items to increase revenue, value for the products, create jobs, and improve lives. Prior to NEPC, Mr. Segun Awolowo worked at the FCT, that's the Federal Capital Territory Administration, from 2007 to 2008 as Secretary for Social Development. Okay, I can see someone is on his it's on his tab. Okay, Mr. Segun Awolowo, I believe there's someone ready to take this presentation.
Hello, good afternoon. Good morning, everyone.
Bayo Mishogbeson and Co. San and GOK Ajayi and Co. San. He has built a solid base of friendship over the years, which cuts across regional, ethnic, and international lines. He's married with 3 children. It is my great pleasure to welcome the CEO of Nigeria Export Promotion Council, Mr. Olusegun Awolowo. May we know who will be taking this presentation, please? Thank you. Hello. You are muted. Mr. Awolowo's, okay.
Hello,
Are we having Mr. Awolowo join us, please?
Somebody is representing him.
Good morning. Can you hear us? We can hear you.
Yeah, good morning. I am Mrs. Esther Ibora.
Exit the video.
Standing in for Mr. Olusegun Awolowo.
There's a bit of an echo. There is a bit of an echo. Can you use just one device and maybe you can put off the video?
Okay. Hello, I am Mrs. Esther Ibora. Representing Mr. Olusegun Awolowo.
Please, can you put off your video now so that it can preserve your bandwidth and we'll be able to hear you better?
Okay. Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me now? It's echoing.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can hear you, but there's an echo. It seems as if there are 2 devices on.
Okay, can you hear me now? Remove that thing. I want to stand in place of Mr. Awolowo, Olusegun Awolowo, the CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. Hello? Remove that. Hello?
Please go ahead, ma.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I am Mrs. Esther Ibora. I want to stand in for Mr. Olusegun Awolowo, the CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. And I wish to stand on the already established protocol in this discourse of on exploring Nigeria export market services and opportunities. As we all know, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council is the apex federal government agency in charge of the promotion and development of non-oil exports in Nigeria. And NEPC is exploring international markets with made in Nigerian products and services. The council through the International Export Office is equally engaged in many activities that will help to assist Nigerian exporters gain access to international markets. We have already dedicated a unit to take care of women exporters, with women in export and sheet rates in line with the sustainable economic development goals towards improving women's quality of life as well as economic development, empowerment of women. From the presentation, that we want to see what we have done as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. Because before the COVID-19 pandemic, our main sustenance was on crude oil. But for now, we have gone ahead. Hello, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, madam. I'm sorry, there was a tech hitch, but I am back as well. We can hear you.
Hello?
Please go ahead.
Hello?
Please go ahead. We can hear you.
From the, before they,
Please go ahead, madam. The program is being live streamed. Please go ahead. I'm so sorry. There seems to be a hitch at the NEPC end. Can we just give a minute? Let's see whether we can resolve this. Sorry, the lady representing Mr. Olusegun Awolowo, can you please go right ahead? We can hear you. Hello, madam. Can you confirm if you can hear us?
yes, I am with you now.
All right, please go right ahead. Just flow. If there's any problem, I will jot in to let you know we can't hear.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Yes, okay. 19, some growth in non-oil export sector we are recorded. The export of 2017 with over $5 billion US. And the Nigerian export of services between 2015 to 2019, as shown on the chart, indicates that travel and tours rose significantly. And this implies that if this sector is enhanced, it is going to increase the GDP of the nation. And from the graph, it shows that there was an increase in services export between 2017 and 2019. Then before then, we were flowing. There was significant increase in the export of services. Then the world was hit by the pandemic. So when the pandemic came, there was crash in crude oil prices following the pandemic and OPEC prices that crashed the world. And our monoproduct can no longer sustain crude oil. Therefore, NEPC response to COVID, and this implies that agricultural products are likely to fall. But the impact, we have significant impact on women, on COVID-19 on women-owned businesses. For instance, it impacted on their supply chain. There was cut in payments. There was other cancellations. There were shortages in supply of goods and raw materials. There were restricted transportation. People have to work from home. All these things impacted. And because when NEPC noticed all these things, the next thing we did was to listen to our women-owned businesses and SMEs. How can the council help? How do we come in to assist? And the council, after a survey, recommended some measures to the federal government in order to assist in easing the burden on export activities for our women-owned businesses and the SMEs through special clearance for exports at ports. We advocated for acceleration of export expansion grants, the claims. We advocated for tax holidays for non-oil exports, reopening of the NACO shed, extracting of NAFDAC recertification and new products, and waivers for NAFDAC renewals. And NEPC will continue to respond, and we have continued to respond to our women entrepreneurs during and after the pandemic. We are working under the Sheet Race initiative, working with the ITC. We have done a lot of capacity building programs. We have trained more than 1,400 SMEs, especially women on related skills, trade-related skills. We have projected and connected over 800 women-owned businesses to international buyers through support at 38 international trade fairs, in-country business linkages, events, and partnership with private and public sectors. Through enabling environments too, women were able to build up their businesses, and the project created some jobs, up to 938 jobs, which are out of which are mostly owned by women. And we did not stop at that, because we know that our major focus is promoting non-oil exports and projecting women businesses and SMEs into the international markets. We have been able to expose made in Nigeria products to identified markets. We have been able to get business deals for made in Nigeria products through partnerships, MOUs, and joint venture distributorship. And we have been able to generate orders. We are proud to say that most of our women have been able to generate orders through our outings with them in the international markets. They have also participated in some fairs, which we have taken women along, and they have proved their worth. The Sudan International Trade Fair Khartoum, they were there in January 2020. The Gulf Food, they were there, which held in February 2020 in Dubai. Companies owned by women also participated in the events and attendant benefits. Then we have established the NESPO trade houses for them to be able to facilitate the export of Nigerian companies, particularly the SMEs, exporters, in order to reduce costs. Because we discovered that most of these SMEs may not be able to access the international market on their own. So we are able to float the NESPO trade houses that can act as a one-stop shop for their products. Once we identify exportable products, they can be taken to those places and housed there, and from there, working in concert with the Nigerian Association of Chambers of Commerce, they will be able to ship them. And it will also serve as clearinghouse for goods expected to ensure proper export standards. We are also leveraging on the African Growth Opportunity Act, AGOA, and we are also leveraging for the promotion of services exports on our diaspora export market initiative, using Nigerians in the diaspora for that. And we know that COVID-19 presented a lot of challenges and opportunities for women, but a lot of opportunities were created for women in the pharmaceutical industries, those in cosmetics and beauty products, those in the fashion and garments, those in the food and beverages, as well as information and communication technology, especially through e-commerce. And we have developed the Zero Oil Plan in order to move and in order to achieve and act as a boost to our GDP. And to do this, we are working in concert with all the states, the 36 states of the Federation, and we have identified a project through, we are achieving this through the One State, One Product initiative, where each state has identified comparative products where they have comparative advantage for promotion and export. And the Zero Oil Plan will prepare Nigeria for a world in which crude oil is less relevant. And because of the importance of the Zero Oil Plan project, the Ministry of Budget and National Planning has integrated the plan as a core component to the federal government's economic recovery and growth plan. And we can do this through the Zero Oil Plan. We were able to identify 22 major products that will generate foreign exchange in the next 1 year, up to $30 billion US foreign exchange. And some of the products are listed as contained in the slides. Like we have cotton, we have rice, we have leather, we have gold, and so on. And we are commencing at the export projects and investments tracking in each state through the One State, One Product. And we are also encouraging our women to leverage on e-commerce as businesses, as e-commerce in Nigeria, because Nigerians are among the top sellers on social media platforms. Most of our women are already utilizing this opportunity. And e-commerce has only increased in importance following the pandemic, as online sales increasingly are replacing store visits around the world. We have entered into partnership with UPS in order to help our women and our SMEs with logistics as far as export business is concerned. And we have also signed an MOU with Free On-Board Logistics, FOB, in Lagos for this purpose, in order to leverage on the on e-commerce, for the women to leverage on e-commerce in the promotion of their products. Then we have the African Continental Free Trade Area, which we are equally leveraging upon in order to promote our services export as well as our product exports in Nigeria. So be that as it may, the council, through its tremendous opportunities, have designed a lot of programs and activities, especially tailored to empower women businesses, to explore vast opportunities offered by the non-oil sectors in the agro-allied sector, small-scale manufacturing, food processing, like shea butter, coconut, cocoa oil, cocoa, packaged spices, fashion and designs. And we have engaged we will continue to engage in specialized trainings and skills to enhance the quality of the exporters and their products, as well as with the support of international experts, donor agencies. We will be able to make the companies
Hello, madam. Your audio stopped a little. Can you please try to rejoin? Hello, madam from NEPC. Can we have you conclude the presentation, please? I'm afraid the audio from the NEPC end seems to have suffered a bit of a hitch. While we expect Madam to return, there is a question on ground from Ogunyemi Bukola, who says, good morning all. Please, if I want to participate in exporting products abroad, do I have to personally source market for my products abroad, or the association can link me to a ready market? With the kind permission of Mrs. Obadino, I would like to say Mrs. Rosemary Eleojo will probably answer this question better, since she is already into export and has the experience in sourcing markets and getting orders. Please, could you answer Ogunyemi Bukola's question? Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you very much. My answer is on both sides. You can source your markets. It's your business. You understand? It's your business. So you go an extra mile to source your markets. Again, because you also belong to associations here and there, you can also take the benefits of the association, for assistance in sourcing international markets. That's my response.
Thank you very much. I wonder if NEPC is back. Hello, madam from NEPC. Okay, while we still await that, I would like Mrs. Obadino to assure our distinguished participants whether they'll be able to get the presentation. I do believe there have been about 3 presentations now. So Mrs. Obadino, are you assuring participants that they would get the presentation? Because Ndudi Osakwe would like to know.
Yes, madam. I think everyone should send their email address so we can send the presentation to them We will ensure that we get them and we send it to everyone. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. I would like to acknowledge a post in the Q&A. This is from Munir Muaka. He says, good morning, I'm Munir Muaka, President of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Tunis, and also President of CAF, Conference of African French-Speaking Consular Chamber. He says he's lucky to be a part of this interesting virtual meeting, and he's at our disposal to increase trade between our countries. Madam Obadino, I think that is a really welcome message from Mr. Munir Muaka, and he has his Gmail address here for us to be able to liaise with him. And also Mrs. Tokima Bogunje has been able to drop her email in the Q&A section. She says, I am Mrs. Tokima Bogunje, President of Lagos Chamber of Commerce. My emails are president@lagoschamber.com and tmmabogunje@gmail. She has expressed interest in discussing partnership and collaboration. So we are very happy to have these comments. Sheriff Owolabi has asked, with what's going on at Apapa ports, what is government doing to speed up delivery time of export-bound goods when there's no access to the ports? Why can't we have dedicated, amongst other, Nigerian ports for export processing? So I think what he's trying to say is, can he have like a dedicated desk for the export processing? You know, I wonder if the lady from Nexim would attempt this question for us. Hello, Madam.
Hello.
Madam Kelechi.
Yes,
Madam
please.
Kelechi, we're happy to have you on again.
Yes.
Our guest, Sheriff Owolabi, would like to know what's going on with the Apapa ports and if there's any plan or policy of government, if you are aware of any policy to have like a dedicated desk for Nigeria for export processing at the Nigerian ports.
Okay, like I had said earlier, our responsibilities, I know, are restricted to financing and risk and advisory services and the rest. However, our customers are currently suffering from the congestion at the ports. So I know that our management is in talks with relevant agencies to see how this issue can be handled, because it is causing a huge threat to the success of exports. I know that management is talking to MPA and the rest of them to see how this issue can be resolved, because it is everybody's problem.
Okay, thank you very much. It is indeed everybody's problem, and the sooner it is resolved, the better for us. Mrs. Tola Gbogboade was going to say something, please. Mrs. Tola Gbogboade, are you there, madam? Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Yes, I am.
Yes, please.
Yes, I am.
I pour a flash.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please proceed to make your contribution or response to that question. Mrs. Tola Gbogboade,
No, I was
please
just,
go ahead.
Yes, we need to engage government very quickly. Yes, we need to engage government to jump in on the pot so that this foreign exchange income can come in as soon as we get on board. Because with everything that we have said,
oops, we are not hearing you clearly. Mrs. Gbogboade, I will implore you to also put your response in the chat box. Please, can you say that again? Sorry, Mrs. Gbogboade, we didn't hear you clearly.
Okay, I will type it. I'll type it. It's the
Please
network.
do. Please
Thank
do.
you.
And we can hear you better now. Can you quickly give that response? Can you repeat yourself?
Okay, I just wanted to say that we need to engage government more on the courts, so that all the work we're
Let her put it on the chat.
Okay, Madam Tola, please put it on the chat.
Counterproductive.
Please put it on the chat. And Mrs. Tokima Bogunje, I know the chambers has been in a lot of discussion. So if you would wish to say anything, please let us know, Madam.
All right, thank you very much, Mrs. Williams, and thank you for your great moderation. Is to first of all, to let Nigerians generally understand that advocacy is long-term hard work. It's not one effort or two efforts or an effort over 1 or 2 years. So this is just to let participants be aware that the chamber about 3 years ago or so spent 2 years in a research project researching the decongestion of our ports. You know, our ports issues have been with us for quite some time. So we did this wonderful report, which we handed to this administration. We had meetings with the president himself, Muhammadu Buhari. We also had meetings with the Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment, and these reports were handed over. Since then, there's been a lot of follow-up. So we also have something called the regulatory conversations. These regulatory conversations we have in partnership with the Convention on Business Integrity, the Integrity Organization, Action Aid, PEBEC, which is the Presidential Enabling Council for an enabling business environment, and a few others. And we have had several more conversations around the lock jams, the areas of challenge, both for importers and exporters, because the port congestion is really, really a big issue. It's making, in fact, I was a guest panelist at a fintech event by The Economist magazine just a day or two ago. And to find out that recent research by the UK government finds that our port congestion issues and our customs issues now, in the minds of Nigerian businesses, now far outstrips the problem that we have with power. So this is to show the enormity and the impact of this. So it's to say it continues to be an ongoing discussion. We continue to push, we continue to put it in our press briefings, we continue to put it in our memorandum to government. When we dialogue with the president or the vice president, it's there. So let's all just keep speaking about it, talking to the agencies concerned to try and make further improvements around policies in this area and have those things become a reality so that our exporters, I mean, right now, exports, non-oil exports contributes, it contributes, I think it's actually less than 10% to the overall GDP of this country, non-oil export. And so that it tells you that there's so much more that we could all be doing, so much more. And also because the process is so convoluted and not simple to understand, you find people taking goods out through other means. Not everything goes out really the official way, because people find it cumbersome.
Okay.
So,
I'm sorry, please, the president has the floor. If you are not speaking, please mute yourself. Madam President, please go on.
Yeah, so Fire, it's just to say that it's an ongoing conversation. I appreciate being here and listening and reading the comments of our esteemed participants here. All of this I'm taking on board. It will all form part of our next memo, our next press briefing, and our next discussion with the relevant agencies. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam President. As you always say, advocacy is indeed long-term hard work, and it is rather distressing to note that port congestion has now outstripped the infrastructural challenge we're even facing with power. That is really food for thought. And I do hope the government will listen when we have more presentation on the issue of port congestion and why we really need to ease it and ease it right now. So I did see a flash in the chat from the NEPC end. We want to thank you. We understand that this new normal, we're all getting used to these technological hitches. I'll be calling you soon to make any concluding remarks. But before I do so, I would like our secretary, Mrs. Popola, to please ensure that all the emails that are being dropped in the chat box, please harvest them. The women's group, once we make a promise, we want the promise to be kept. So Mrs. Obadina, Onofoko Obadina had said, anyone who provides the email, the presentation will be sent, and we would like that to be done seamlessly. Again, we have other questions. Somebody has accused us of talking more of agricultural products. There are so many other products. We have products from mining. We have those of us who want to export services. So I am wondering which of our panelists would speak to that. NEPC, I'll be calling you back in a minute, but I would like to attest to the fact that I've been a beneficiary of NEPC programs. We've gone on exhibition to Togo and Ghana. We have seen the kind of cooperation NEPC has with a whole lot of embassies. You know, the Nigerian embassies in various countries, NEPC has a great relationship, and that is one thing that Nigerian exporters can leverage on in case you're having any challenges. I would say that as a beneficiary myself. So we would like to know, NEPC, do you have any concluding remarks? You may not be able to share your screen as such, but you may speak for a few minutes, madam. NEPC? Okay.
Yes, I have a concluding remark.
Okay, please go ahead.
This webinar is a welcome development, and somebody said we are talking of agricultural products only. What of services? We at the NEPC, we are doing a lot with the services sector. That we even have a division dedicated to the trade in services. So we are doing a lot, and we have floated a lot of activities to promote services. We are working with in our diaspora export of services using our people in diaspora. We are working with those in the IT industry. We are working with those in the film industry, and there's a whole lot of them. So we are not only promoting products per se, but we are also in the business of promoting services as well. And together we can achieve a lot. And we will be working with the chamber. We have been working with the chamber, and we continue to work with the chamber to promote our products, with particular reference to women, because we are now using the ITC sheet rates. We want to promote the business of women to the international world, because we are encouraging them to register under the ITC sheet rates in order to be possible in the international market space. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Madam NEPC. Please give our kind regards to Mr. Awolowo. There was another question from Ajao Monsurat on getting orders from international market. I would like to believe that Princess Eleojo's answer on you either taking it up by yourself, since it's your business, or going through associations like the women groups and other platforms, he has already answered that. Now, Blessing Ojeri has another question here, and her question is for NEPCs. It says, I have registered for exporter's license over a month ago. I am yet to receive my certificate. Can NEPC tell me what to do? So, madam, this has to do with turnaround time. These are some of the challenges faced at times when we're dealing with government agencies. Yes, please, ma'am.
maybe something is wrong with her either email or her registration process.
Okay.
Yes, yes, because,
because
our registration.
Yes, please.
Can I go on?
Please do.
Yes,
Please
our registration process is seamless and not cumbersome. Everything is online. Maybe something is wrong with her email address, because once you complete the registration process online, we are supposed to, and you have made the payments, we are supposed through remitter, we are supposed to get a feedback from the office telling you, go to so and so office of your choice, which you have indicated to pick your certificate. And this process can be completed within 24 hours. So if you have registered for over a month and you are yet to collect your certificate, visit any of our offices nearest to you and complain, so that they will help you track what the problem is. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. You have said that Blessing should visit the nearest office and she will be informed what to do. We're happy to hear that NEPC issuance of license has gone online. That is the way to go. We hope more government agencies would offer a seamless service via online means, as everyone is leveraging on technology now. An anonymous attendee is asking, is there a platform where an exporter can access list of export items as per location? For instance, any demand from Ireland on Nigerian exports. This looks like a business opportunity for someone to create a directory. Madam Princess Eleojo, would you like to answer this, please? If there's any directory that an exporter can find out what items are needed in a particular location. May we have you, please, Madam Eleojo? Okay, let's go on to another question from Temitayo Prince. He says, may I ask for a complimentary question if participants are able to chip in to successful projects that need expansion? So Temitayo, Madam Eleojo had spoken about collaboration partnerships coming together. I think that would be the answer to your question. You have to find like-minded people that you can pool resources and contribute to chip in and have successful export projects. The lady from NEPC, can you talk about this directory? We still have a question from our anonymous attendee hanging. Hello? Hello?
Can you, please, pardon, I didn't hear. Hello, I didn't hear you well.
Okay, there's a question on ground, which goes thus. Is there a platform where an exporter can access a list of export items as per location? You know, for instance, this person would like to know what Nigerian products are, say, demanded in Ireland. So this to me looks like some kind of directory. Is that directory existing, or does this become a business opportunity for an entrepreneur to look into?
I think what happens is that we have a directory of the countries that we intend to move products into through our international export markets. And if there is any country of choice, we normally do what we call the company profile, country profile, know what they want, know the products that are selling in the market, know the products from that they usually import from other countries, know what. So we have a directory, a product, and you are trying to target any market. It is good. It will be really good for the person to go online and look at the country profile, the profile of that country that you want to export to know what they want and what they don't want.
Thank you very much for answering that question. So we have been advised as entrepreneurs to make sure we examine the country profile, know their likes and dislikes, know even a little bit about the culture and procedures in these companies that we want to export to. So, Madam Secretary, please, can you ensure that Mrs. Eleojo is not muted because she may wish to answer some of these questions for us? Okay, so I understand Princess Eleojo is muted. Please, can we redress that, Madam Secretary of the Women Group? Okay, so Ndudi Osakwe, you are asking, or rather you made a comment that you think NEPC should have a page, a fact sheet on countries. I think that question has been answered. The lady from NEPC has told us that they do have profile, you know, on all these countries, and it's up to us as entrepreneurs to seek out that information and create a good business opportunity from it. Okay,
Madam Moderators.
Yes, please.
Sorry, Madam. That list, is it available for us to see the list of the goods that other countries need? So that list can help the SMEs that that want to go into export. They can now look at that list and see what they can do. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, Madam NEPC, please, can you come in to answer this question? All along, we know that there are a whole lot of brilliant ideas and so on, but the access, again, is what Mrs. Obadino is underscoring here. She's asking whether this list is available for us to actually look at and be able to determine a line of action or what to export and to where. So NEPC, please, Madam Secretary, make sure she's unmuted so that she can, she's been giving us a whole lot of information. Okay, Mrs. Eleojo.
Madam.
Okay, but, okay, Mrs. Eleojo, just give us a minute. Yes, give us a minute. NEPC needs to talk. Hello, we can hear you.
Is the place available now?
Hello, Madam.
We can hear you.
Hello?
We can
This
hear
was
you.
the question.
Mrs. Eleojo, please hold on.
Okay,
Just hold on first, please.
Okay.
NEPC, can you let us know whether this country profile export demand lists, are they available for us to access truly and easily? Thank you. Hello? Okay, the lady from NEPC seems to have gone off. So, Madam Eleojo, please, can you answer that same question? Is there any platform that an exporter can access for list of export allocation?
Yes. I know that NEPC do have a site. I can't easily say the address now, but they do have a site where you can access. And in their head office in Abuja, you know, they also have a chart, you know, that is displayed on as you enter their reception, you know, with a lot of these informations. You know, so if this lady is on air now, she could have been able to throw more light on that. But I do know they have a site, you know, that can be accessed, but I can't really readily give you that site now.
I'm sure one of us can just type in that, we can get that web address and put it in the chat box that we can easily do. Somebody would also like to know the procedure and costs for registration with NEPC. Mr. Babatunde Ayenitaju Ayenitaju, please go to their website. Google is our friend nowadays. Once we plug in any PC, I'm sure a lot of that information will come up. Then Mr. Kola Onifade would like to know where information on quality and standards for export goods can be sourced. This is a very important question. Princess Rosemary Eleojo, if you're still with us, can you speak to this a bit? You know, how do we get to know quality and standards for export of goods, including things like level of humidity, particulate matter, contamination level, and so on, any other specs, you know, specifications and standards? Where do we locate this so that we don't end up exporting something that is off spec? Thank you, Mrs. Eleojo.
Okay, thank you very much. This is very important as far as exports concerned. In my presentation, I made mention of that. You can't talk of exports without quality and standards. At Eleojo Foods, what we try to do, you know, especially in the areas of grains, you know, is to standardize grains, is to treat grains to international standard. We have the technical know-how to do that. So, and we are doing that for exporters right now on grains. Having said that, there is a lot of outlets, a lot of certification agencies. Certification don't come easy, you know. It doesn't come easy, but if you are determined, you know, you will go all out to get it done. And then for quality products, quality raw materials, let me put it that way. You know, I said it earlier in my presentation that you have to liaise, you know, with people, especially the farmers, you know, in our rural areas who are working tirelessly, you know, with all these organizations to get the standard right from the farm. Eleojo Foods is an example. We had the World Bank with us for almost a year. You know, every month they send staff to us, you know, right on the farm, you know, to ensure, to put us through, you know, on how to do these things, because food safety begins from the farm. You know, so you have to identify specific people who are in the rural areas, who are doing things, who are in the rural areas and are doing things to international standard. They are working with relevant authorities, you know, to standardize raw materials products for exports. You know, we have quite a number group of them. I can't say this specific, but it's something that you have to find out. You know, that area is a whole lot of exercise to be done, you know, because that is what export itself is all about. About a week ago, I got a call from someone on referral, you know, and they want to take sesame seeds to France. France is one of the countries that have the highest of standards, you know, requirements. And of course, I have been trained by the NEPC, you know, on by ECOSAT, you know, for certification, you know, on international standard of that. You know, but even at that, you know, I've not been able to conclude the whole processes, although I have the certificate, but I've not been able to conclude the whole processes, you know, to get fully accredited because of the financial involvement. So that question will not have a clear-cut answer. But if you go out of your ways, you will find out there are limited people that have full certification, you know, of what goes out of the country. Even the federal government is doing a lot. You know, I know on honey, you know, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, together with Nigeria Export Promotion Council, have been on honey certification internationally. You know, and I'm part of the producers that were selected to participate and have this accreditation done. But as I speak to you, we are still on it. We are still on it. Even with the involvement of the government, these things are not easy. And that is also what is hampering quite a number of our products from going out to certain European or to European countries. So it's who asked that question, have to take time out, and check people, that are doing it. Liaise with Export Promotion Council. They have a list of people that they are working with on that line. Even what we are doing with ECOSAT, which is an international body that we are working with on certification. We are not through yet, and we are doing that with NEPC. You understand? So it has a lot of implications. So you can liaise with NEPC. They will have a few names, and give you a more direction. Although they are not on the field, they will refer you to people like us, to work with. That's how I can respond to that.
Thank you very much, Princess Rosemary. I said thank you very much, Princess Rosemary Eleojo. You are our go-to person. And because of this, your brilliant responses, one lady is asking, are you available to mentor? We don't want you to answer that in public. We don't know, in case you receive a deluge. But can you just give her an idea of whether you are available to mentor anybody? We know what it entails.
Yes, we are. Although time is really not our friend, but then anything that concerns women, I'm passionate about it, and we'll have time for any woman, that find us hands.
She will.
She will. We are.
She will. I'm asking for her. She will. She will mentor women.
Oh, that's awesome. Thank you very much. So men, don't be jealous. All the men on the call, don't be jealous. This is a woman's world, so she's going to mentor women. And someone is asking Mohammed Musa, what does it cost to join the council? Please, Secretary, I believe, has put in the chambers, how to join the chambers. We're having a campaign right now. You can see the awesome benefits of being a member of the chambers. Okay, so please look in the chat box for the contact details and our web address if you want to join the chambers. One attendee has put in the website of NEPC. That's www.nepc.gov.ng. So that is the NEPC web address. Somebody has asked, knowing that most of the products exported are perishable and there may be a delay in transit resulting to spoilage of goods, how can the exporter be protected? Mrs. Eleojo, I believe that has to do with insurance?
Insurance, yes.
Yes.
Insurance.
Okay.
Yes.
So
that's to do with insurance, yes. And then you also have to work it out such that your products can go. About 2 weeks ago, we said something through NACO. Our people were on ground to ensure that it leaves on time. So it's a personal thing too.
Okay. So it's about logistics, logistics and proper organization as well. All right. I hope that has satisfied the person who asked that question. Abiba Badmos, you're still asked, she's asked about how to get a list of products and services requested. Once again, NEPC has done a profile, and remember, they have that information. You need to contact them. Then Sylvia Ume is asking a question from Nexim Bank. Is the age restriction for both women and youth? Mrs. Sylvia Ume would like to know from Nexim Bank. Please, may we know is the age restriction?
Okay, the age restriction on that facility is just for the youth, 35 years. However, there are other facilities that are accessible to every other person. as I earlier said in my presentation, there's the export development facility, the direct lending, and the rest of them. But this particular facility is for women of all ages and youths around or within the age of 35 years, or at most 35 years, or a maximum age limit of 35 years.
All right. Thank you very much for your kind response. I am sure the person who asked the question has been well guided. We are moving towards the closing of this very interesting and highly engaging discussion. Mr. Munir Muaka has thanked us for our welcoming words, and he's looking forward to a mutual profitable cooperation between the two chambers. He has congratulated the Lagos Chamber for this event. Thank you very much. And I believe Mrs. Victoria Obadina has noted that kind word from Mr. Munir Muaka of the Chamber of Commerce in Tunis. So do we have any other questions in the chat box? I asked the secretary to assist me. That will be just before I call Mrs. Tola Gugwade to give us her vote of thanks. Or Mrs. Obadino, would you like to say one word before I call Mrs. Gugwade? Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes. Please.
Am I on it? Yes.
Yes,
Thank
please.
you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, everyone, for attending. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this. And Mrs. Eleojo, thank you for being there for us. You know, I spoke to you that you should just assist us, and you did. Thank you. And I will appreciate more if you can help the SMEs, the new ones, the women that want to go into export, if you can assist them to get to their destination. And I want to thank the Nezim Bank as well. I hope when we approach you as women, you will assist us and you make things easy for us. I just want to say thank you to everyone. And I will leave the overall thank you to my deputy, Tola. I'm sorry, before I hand over to Tola, I want to thank the moderator. She has done a good job. Thank you. And my dear Madam President, thank you so much for supporting the women group. Tola, you're on the floor.
Thank you for thanking the moderator. The moderator is a COVID-19 induced virtual moderator. That is the new skill I learned due to COVID-19, to put body and soul together. And now I would like to say again, my name is Fayo Williams. I've had an awesome time being here. I would now like to hand over to Madam Tola Gugwade to give the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Fayo Williams. Once again, I would like to say good morning to everyone. On behalf of the chairperson of the women group, Mrs. Obadino, Mrs. Victoria Onofo Obadino, and she has basically done her vote of thanks. But then I will do. I would like to thank, on behalf of Mrs. Obadino and all the members of the women group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I would like to appreciate our president, Mrs. Toki Mabogude. Thank you for being with us and thank you for supporting us. I'd like to say a big thank you to Madam Kelechi, who is representing the Executive Director, Business Development, Nezim Bank, Honorable Stella Okotete. Thank you very much. You have done a wonderful job. I'd like to thank my big sister or my sister, Princess Rosemary Eleojo. I'm a fan of yours and you know that. Thank you so much for sharing with us your wealth of knowledge. We really appreciate you. I appreciate you being on board and you inspire me. Thank you so much. I would like to thank Mrs. Esther, student for Mr. CEO of the Nigerian Export Promotion Board. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your help. And even thank you because NEPC has always been part of the Lagos International Trade Fair. You always come to educate and to teach us what to do to be on this export bandwagon. Thank you, sir. Mrs. Fayo Williams, once again. She has done a wonderful job. She has made this webinar quite exciting and obvious. So I'd like to say a big thank you to her. Thank you to everyone who has attended this webinar. At the last count, we had about 144 participants, and that is so impressive. Thank you. You have really made this webinar a success that it is, and we appreciate you. Once again, my name is Tola Bugwadi. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much, Tola. I hope, can everyone hear me? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
All right. Can all the panelists and participants please use their video so that we take a picture? You know, we all have to comply with this new way now. So can we all use our videos so that we can have a picture? Once again, it's been very humbling, a great experience to be here with you all. So please, can you use your videos, and can we have it in grid form? Madam Mrs. Popola, can we have a grid form? Okay. I can see Mrs. Victoria Onofo Kambadina there. So can we all be in this picture, please? Hello. We need more people in the picture. Okay. Oh, Madam President, it's so nice to still have you around. Okay, so
till the end.
Popola, please, can you do us the honors of taking the picture when you are ready and tell us when you are done, so that we can officially close? Okay. I believe we are done. Okay. Apparently, there are some participants who are saying there's no video option. Again, you know, technology has its ways. Ladies and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, guest speakers, panelists, we have come to the end of this exciting discussion. As Mrs. Obadino has said, when we call you again, we hope you will respond to us. Thank you very much. And we are now bringing the entire event to a close, so you can unmute and just say bye-bye if you can. Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye. Nice being here.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Secretary will take the rest. You know what? I'm not supposed to leave until everybody. Okay, she hasn't. Okay, she has gone. She's still there.
Is she and the chairman that will be doing it?
Okay, now she's gone.
I left home 8 o'clock, thinking I will get here for 9:30.
In fact, that I will do the, how are you, sir? That I will do the webinar here and be ready